give you the assurances of the Honorable Regional Minister that whatever that it is that he has to do to make whatever venture that you embark on in this region a successful one, he would offer for you to let your business thrive.
Give it up. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, shall we give it up for Honorable S.K. Wafo? Thank you. We also acknowledge the presence of a special guest amongst us. He is the Adriana PSC. He is the Asantuma Belkumhene. Mentre Odene Ho Oche Kosi Inchama, Nana Sumejama Hene. Mama, Yedina Yema Nana Aquapa. We quickly move on to the next item by proceeding to the welcome address segment, which will be delivered by the Chief Executive Officer of Rapport Services and the Chairman of Goal Statement and also the Executive Director of the Lapidary Institute of Ghana. Let's give it up for Mrs. Judina Corcoran, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Distinguished co-chairman, Honorable S.K. Boafo and Professor Ebenezer Kofi Howard, our illustrious special guest, Odinuho Otrikusi Intrama, Esume Jahine, Nananum, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and our dear friends from the press. I have the greatest pleasure to welcome all of you to the launch of Goal Statement 2025. The decision to bring Goal Statement to the Garden City is a propitious move that has generated much interest and excitement. The first Goal Statement event took place in Accra on the 30th to 31st August 2007, and we have not looked back. The deep-seated wish to bring the work of our jewelers and goldsmiths to the attention of our nation and the world at large has not been in vain. With active participation of jewelers and goldsmiths in Ghana, we have achieved significant strides. The exquisite works we have exhibited over the years, both for sale and on the runway, have attracted international attention. The African Minerals Development Center, AMDC, of the African Union, AU, became aware of our groundbreaking efforts to take African jewelry to the next level as a result of the yearly Gold Statement events. Gold Statement is the pioneer of the just introduced African Jewelry and Gemstones Conference, which was first organized in Ndola, Zambia in 2023. AJEC is now organized in different African countries on a rotational basis under the auspices of the AMDC. As always, Ghana is again the pace setter. After the maiden AJEC conference in Ndola, Zambia, where Gold Statement participated, we were introduced to the art of gemstone cutting and polishing. On our return to Ghana, we decided to include this new art form into our jewelry manufacture. As a result, Rapport Services registered the Lapidary Institute of Ghana, supported by Gold Statement partners, and set up a lapidary workshop to train young, interested Ghanaians. In April 2024, out of the initial intake of 10 students, 8 graduated in November after an 8-month course in lapidary, under the tutelage of our indefatigable Mr. Isaac Tete Ajovu of Legacy Stones. This year, we are in the process of training more students, and I'm happy to say that some selected jewelers have become mentors to these students. We invite partners to join us, push this agenda forward, and train more young people in lapidary. Recently, the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, announced the government's intention to set up a gold village. This is good news and long overdue. Gold Statement and partners have been touting this idea for a long time. In fact, we have made presentations to every government for the past 15 years. Documents and pictorial interactions are available to prove our passion and commitment. The government cannot embark on this laudable project without our input and collaboration. We shall make ourselves available to work closely with all relevant institutions to ensure the successful implementation of this objective. We, the Coalition of the Willing, are of the opinion that the time has come for Ghana to establish a gold village. Honorable Chairman, illustrious special guest, Odinihu Otrikusi Intrama, ladies and gentlemen, Gold Statement's agenda is to ensure that Ghana stands tall, not only as a producer of raw gold, but a nation that adds value to gold and also the jewelry destination in Africa for both trade and tourism. There has been enough rhetoric. We appeal for action now. Before I conclude, I would like to say a special thank you to the organizing team, both in Accra and Kumasi, and all our partners in this endeavor, who have spent sleepless nights working to make sure that the press launch is successful. SK Boafo, who has been a champion of Gold Statement from the very beginning, when he was Minister for Chieftaincy and Culture. Give him a round of applause. He's been with us since 2007. He has been with us since 2007. Has stood by us, worked with us. Wherever we go, he's there to support us. Thank you, Papi. He's my special friend in Papi. I also sincerely appreciate the highly commend Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, NUST, Industrial Art Department and Jewelry Center for their efforts to work closely with our jewelers and offer them contemporary skills.
Anything that is so raw without adding value is of no use to the country. That is why we are still where we are. If we want our gold to benefit us, then the only way is to add value. And that is what we have been fighting for and trying to bring attention to for the past 18 years. We started promoting value addition to gold and jewelers of Ghana since 2007. And if you go through our history, you'd realize that we've had interactions with every government since the past 15 years. Every government that has been in place, we've had interactions with them. We have been supported by them, we have been encouraged by them, but at the end of the day, the step forward that they have to make to ensure that all their nice words come to fruition is not being made. Recently, we heard that His Excellency the President has announced that he wants to set up a gold village. This is not the first time. When President Kufuor became president, he also talked about the golden age of business and making gold and value addition a cornerstone of his government. But it did not really happen. That is when we even started goal statement because of what the government has said at that time. But it did not really happen. When Professor Mills came, the same. All the governments, Nanado, Mahama, everybody says the same thing. Their excellencies, they all say the same thing, but they don't take it a step forward, and we are wondering why. And we keep knocking at their door and asking them to please make Ghana a center of gold trading and gold business. So whatever they are saying now, we are asking them to involve us, the jewelers, the promoters, the marketers, to be able to bring it to fruition. Without us, it will just be a lot of talk and nothing will happen.
I'm grateful. Please, your name again.
My name is Judy Nakwo Krayem. I'm the chairman of Gold Statement. I'm the CEO of Rapport Services and the director of the newly created Institute of Lapidary Institute of Ghana. We are training young people to identify stones of Ghana: amethyst, agate, beryl, etc. Rose quartz that we have in Ghana. People don't even know that we have these things in Ghana. To be able to cut and polish. We graduated our first students last year, November. We are graduating our next batch of students in Kumasi next coming November. And we want all of you to be here to see what we have done and what the young people have been able to create. It's amazing the craftsmanship of young Ghanaians. If you go into our brochure, you will see every piece of jewelry done there is by a young jeweler. Every piece of jewelry. Nothing is imported.
We'll work on that one.
Yes, nothing is imported. So you'd realize that our people have the capability. They have the know-how. All they need is encouragement to be able to do what they do best.
Right. We know that the jewelry industry is...
Let us welcome Honorable Richard Ofori Ajimabodi, the KMA Mayor. Thank you. Honorable, you can come off stage. Yes.
I give you the assurances of the Honorable Regional Minister that whatever that it is that he has to do to make whatever venture that you embark on in this region a successful one, he would offer for you to let your business thrive. That said, I've listened to the lady who just spoke. I've taken notice of what she's putting across to government. I'll pen them down. I'll carry it up to the appropriate place for government to see through your. Now, she talked about having partnership with the Gold Board for raw material prices to be affordable, so that the end users who are both north can also make a living out of that one. Then you talked about capacity building. These are things that falls in line with the vision of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama for the gold sector. It is as a result of some of these things that we have put together the Gold Board for it to regulate the purchase and sale of gold and minerals products in the country. And if you were to take a cursory look at previous trading activities within the gold sector, and when the gold board was instituted, you'd realize that the price regime has been regulated such that now you can afford it much easier than it used to be. It's a new setup. Going forward, government will begin to evaluate the outcomes of what we are doing in that particular enclave and improve on it. So when the gold board is set and stays for a year or two, we believe it can enhance the work that you do. As government, we appreciate the fact that gold should be one of the mainstay of our economy, and want to do everything possible in that regard to make sure gold gets Ghana the needed financial backing, and for that matter, breakthrough. So we're working so hard to make sure that we put in place innovative ideas and mechanisms to enhance whatever that has to be done in that particular sector. The issue about having couriers transported from Ghana to other destinations will be carried on to His Excellency the President, and we'll see how we can impact on that. Because we want to make sure that as government, we do what has to be done to make us derive a lot of financial benefit of the resources that are in the country, and we are working so hard to have it done. It won't be long. Kumasi is going to have a museum for gold. Yes. I'm sure by November, when your program takes place here, you will have the opportunity to visit the gold museum that is in the pipeline, and by August ending and September first 2 weeks, it should be in place for all of us to benefit. So when you do your products, you would have an opportunity to showcase them to people who would come to the museum to see. This is the region where gold lives. This is the region where gold dwells. So we are doing everything possible to let gold impact on the development of our region. I've been pleading with His Royal Majesty Otumfuo to also help us by making sure that we'll be able to relocate the headquarters of the Minerals Commission from Accra to Kumasi, so that gold is within our enclave, in the Ahafu area, in the Adanse, Amansie, and the Bebiani area. And it is important that we bring associated agencies closer to where the activity is, so that we can derive maximum benefit for our region too. So we're working so hard on it, and I can assure you that we have partners in myself and the Honorable Regional Minister, whatever we have to do to make sure that gold and its attendant business drives our region's development focus will be done to ensure that Ghana gets the maximum benefit for God's benevolence by giving us gold. That said, I want to thank you for inviting us, and we will assure you of our support throughout this journey.
Without spending much time, let's proceed with the welcome the Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Bullion Traders for the next address. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Mr. Daniel Krampa. Oh, we can do better. Thank you.
I bring you greetings from Accra, and to congratulate all who helped in putting this program together. The Chamber of Bullion Traders has been in existence since year 2019. It is made up of previous licensed gold exporters that have been given licenses to buy gold from small-scale miners by government. And membership is not limited to only those people. We have even small-scale miners, suppliers of mining equipment, mining consumables, and currently, because of what has happened on the gold buying area, we have members who have been licensed by the Ghana Gold Board as per the Ghana Gold Board Act, 2025 Act 1140. The Chamber of Bullion Traders have been playing a very positive role in the gold value chain since its inception. Some of these roles include policy formulation on gold trade, provision of ready market for produce of artisanal and small-scale miners, refining of gold to about 98% purity, and to the specification of the jewelry industry. Previously, we also provide London Metal Exchange price for gold on the local market. And we provide liquidity for small-scale gold miners, because we were the interface between investors who wanted to buy gold from overseas and the gold miners. And we provided funding for miners to meet their logistical needs and supply of gold to the local jewelry market. In order to stay competitive, members of the chamber have set up gold refineries to add value to the gold that they purchase from artisanal and small-scale miners. These refineries, some of which are currently idle, they are idle because we don't get gold to feed the refineries. And we have a total capacity to refine about 1,300 kilograms of gold per day. Even though gold exporters supply jewelers with fine gold to produce ornaments, it is the expectation of members that in future, gold coins, bars, and others can be produced in Ghana like we have in South Africa, where the Kruger gold coins are traded in. And as has been the dream of every government that comes to power, it is the dream of the chamber that in future, a public-private partnership arrangement can also be made to set up jewelry centers and villages in Accra and Kumasi to produce jewelry and train jewelers in new technologies and organize Ghana Gold and Jewelry exhibitions in collaboration with the Ghana Tourism Authority to attract investors, tourists, and others from all over the world. Mr. Co-Chairman, the launching of this year's gold statement under the theme promoting the heritage of authentic handmade Ghanaian jewelry and African gemstones in Kumasi here is unique and very important. The Chamber will continue to offer the necessary support to enhance value addition to Ghana's mineral resources. To Madam Judy, Rapport Services and other institutions who have always made it possible for the launching of this program, we members of the Chamber say, Aiko.
Typhoon launched an ambitious in-house standardization program to bring its vision to life, aligning with best practices in governance, safe working conditions, and environmental protection. In partnership with TDI Sustainability, Typhoon developed an assurance criteria that met international standards, including the OECD, LBMA, SBGA, ILO, and World Bank resettlement frameworks. This commitment placed Typhoon in a league of its own. In 2022, upon the introduction of the Bank of Ghana, Typhoon passed a rigorous site assessment and was onboarded by MKS Hub, one of the world's most prestigious LBMA accredited refineries. It thus became the first and only small-scale mine in Ghana to be accredited on these international standards, whereof it enrolled on the Bank of Ghana's Domestic Gold Purchase Program, helping the central bank to build domestic reserves and access ethical markets. Beyond its core business, Typhoon has uplifted its host communities through impactful CSR initiatives, establishing royalty streams to local schools, construction of healthcare facilities, palaces, a community center, public sanitation infrastructure, and road rehabilitation. In 2022, in partnership with the Ashanti Green Initiative, Typhoon rehabilitated 180 acres of degraded land, planting 15,000 coconut trees, though sadly 2/3 of it has been lost to renewed illegal mining. Today, history is being made. Typhoon has minted Ghana's first ever good delivery green gold from MKS Pump and Rank refineries. A dream 7 years in the making. Typhoon Greenfield is not just mining gold, it is setting the gold standard for small-scale mining in Ghana.
Give it up. Ladies and gentlemen, you can have a seat. Give it up for yourself. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yamakwaba eba KB Logistics. Tuma ye di paa ne se ye de wona wokofa nneoma free China eba Ghana ha ema wo mo. Che se nneoma kakra bi a obeto no KB Logistics de beba wo fie be bibiara wo ban mu se ye kuma ase se ye nkran. De ye frɛ no door to door ebi se o kra 20 feet ana se 40 feet if China e de aba ye dwumadi ye die ba ko paa no na che se ye ne hwehwehwehwe mre so. KB Logistics de ye nneoma eba ntem. Ye tumi de bi fa wiem ye de bi so efa ensuo so. Se ye de fa 7 to 10 days. And I feel so say fa insuo so 28 days to 30 days. Na ababe drew pot ama ye yi every honum so e de abrel. Ye wo warehouse kese e wo China Guangzhou a nyoma dodowo biara pese wo krade ba no ye beji e de ababe gu ama na afi ye di free wo ababe drew o mami ho e de ama wo asumdue mu a unya ha obia na asem da sese KB Logistics e de ama Ghana adwadifo wo na wo ta akọ China kofa nyoma ba ne se e bia we ni wo first time awoko ana se empo no ta akọ no mo na so ko bia woni ye ontanta KB Logistics say wo frɛ ni yi nkutahudie anasa woni ye nkasa ye fawo e de wakɔ company na nkasa apartments a ya gi no Guangzhou honom amadwadifo place of convenience efie no wo nipa dodo a efa ne senti no e first come first serve basis sɛ wo fra ye bebuku room e de amount na afi ya maka aba be fa wo airport na afi sɛ wo pese okodi dwa because of language barrier nti ye wo de obeka ho no bekɔ na China kasa no wono abeka akyerɛkyerɛ mu amount sɛ de be ya obeti aseɛ na wankɔ ankɔbɔ ka na asɛm de baako bio no so sɛ woba AB logistic a yɛ free no ɛwɔ fam papapapa wo de compare ɔmo a wɔn de bi ba na bo sɛ yɛdeɛ no wɔ fam especially with your services a yɛ surrender aka ho no bo sɛ yɛ cheap eti me hyɛn bɔ ahyɛ wo nkran sɛ KB logistics fa wo nneɛma fa hɔ na unnu ho da sɛ o pɛɛ ne yɛ di nkɔmɔ a yɛ numbers ana gu tele no so no wobɛtumi afa na wo ne yɛ di nkɔmɔ KB logistics ne ewu hia no ɛno ne ɛbɛyɛ ama wo.
Poku One TV.